Shalom. This is Gamal Ya'Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta, giving all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim and Akwat that subscribe and are sincere. All right. This is a quick lesson. All right, and it's going to be basically just about America crumbling. All right. I found an article. All right. And I'll just go straight into it. This is off of blacklistednews.com, and it says, hold on, slide. Goodbye American Dream. The average household of 137,000 in debt. All right, and 38% of millennials live with their parents. All right, so the average household is roughly $137,000 in debt. All right, and off the bat, I just want to say that this is just a debt-based society. All right, everything is just thriving off of debt. Esau's system is really is thriving off of debt. Okay, he's basically continuing his rule just based off of debt. And even his tab, all right, he's working up his tab of debt, all right, not only with money but with with his wickedness, all right. He's working up his tab, all right, and eventually he's gonna have to pay that tab. All this wickedness and all this money, corruption, all right. Esau's gonna have to pay for all that, okay. And it says 38.4% of millennials live with their parents. All right, so as you see, all right, no one's really making money anymore, man. This economy is completely trash, All right, it's completely trash. All right, everyone's in debt. All right, you get a lot of college graduates. They spend all that money in school, borrowed money, all right, that they got loans for, okay? They get all that money, rack up all that money, and then they go live with their parents, right? Once upon a time, the United States had the largest and most vibrant middle class in the history of the world. But now the middle class is steadily being eroded. The middle class became a minority of the population for the first time ever in 2015. All right, and that's what it is. The middle class is basically done away with. All right, and because the gap between the rich and poor is becoming more vast. Okay, there's a wider gap, and the reason why is because you have these elites, the rich. They're doing everything in their power, and they're utilizing their resources and money into keeping the masses at a low level. All right, and it's working tremendously, because they don't want any more middle class citizens. All right, it's either you're gonna be rich or poor. All right, and that's the way that they've set up the system, because and one way they're gonna do it, or one way they're doing it, is they're outsourcing all the jobs, all right, to where there's no more jobs available, and they're also putting money into more money into artificial intelligence, where your job is no longer valuable. All right, your job is obsolete. Your role in society is obsolete, right? So these are the reasons why the middle class is being done away with. All right, and it says. Let's see. A new survey showed that 78% of full-time workers in the United States live paycheck to paycheck at least part of the time. See, so that is slavery. All right, that's a hamster wheel. Living paycheck to paycheck. All right, all you're doing is working so that you can sustain living. All right, and it's not supposed to be like that. All right. I mean, of course you have to work. All right, from the time when Adam went off, that was the curse of men. all right, was that they have to basically work, all right, for you know, to sustain living, right? But it wasn't initially set up to be that way, all right. Everything was supposed to be in abundance to us. We're the sons of the living power, all right. Israel, which meaning prince of the power. Everything was supposed to be given to us, you know, naturally, all right. It says most people still want to live the American dream, and so they are going into tremendous amounts of debt in a desperate attempt to live that kind of lifestyle. And that's everyone today. All right, in my last video I mentioned that everyone has those goals of being rich, okay, having money, living that American dream. What is the American dream? Having a nice house, having kids, having you know, really more than what more than what you're comfortable, you know, having an enormous amount of comfort in America. That's the American dream, really. Having a good amount of comfort. All right, meaning you're financially stable, you have a nice house, you have a nice car, you have kids. All right, that's the American dream. All right, the so-called American dream. But you people are gonna find out soon that this American dream is all bullshit. All right, it's all smoke and mirrors. I'm gonna keep reading and I'm gonna get some precepts. It says according, we already brought that point out. Hold on. The Census Bureau reports that median household income was $59,000 last year. All right, suggesting that many Americans are living beyond their means. See, and I made that point that these people are living beyond, way beyond their means. All right, because Esau sets it up. Esau, who is the so-called white man, which he's the deceiver of the world. He has put it in your mind that you need certain things. You need a nice car. You need to get a phone. You know, you need to get a $500 phone. You need to get nice clothes. You gotta have a big TV, right? Because this is what they push out there. They push out there that you have to have you have to live, you know, a comfortable life. You have to have, you know, you have to live beyond your means, you know. But really, all you need is your daily bread, you know. All you really need is your daily bread, just the basics. As long as you have housing, okay. As long as you have you know, you're able to eat every day, all right. Long as you have clothing, all right. That's the basics, all right. Your basic necessities, all right. As long as those are taken care of, then you're good. But the American lifestyle goes well beyond that, okay. Let's see. Slovakia. Let me see. Just skimming through this. Okay. As a nation, we are completely and utterly drowning in debt. U.S. consumers are now nearly $13 trillion in debt overall, and many will literally spend the rest of their lives making debt payments. And that's what this is. This is just debt, man. Just debt. All this is just borrowed time. Esau just buying time. That's it. You know. Actually, I got something. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. All right, so just like I brought that precept, I mean, just like I read in this article, all right, that the gap between you know, the rich and poor is becoming you know, wider, you know. And it says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. All right, what is a servant? A servant is a slave. All right, and who if you look at today, if you look at the mechanics of this society, all right, who is the servant? All right, and I'm gonna answer is you minorities. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which you are the Israelites according to the Bible. You are the Israelites of the Bible, right? And you are the servants of this. You're servants in America. Why? Because all you do is work. You're a slave. Okay? You work for someone who owns a company who's making a profit off of your work. Who's really making a tremendous amount of profit off of really your labor is basically free. You know? Because all you're gonna do is get paid once you get your paycheck at the end of the day, or not at the end of the day, at the end of 2 weeks. All right, which is wicked as hell. But when you get your paycheck, what are you gonna do? You're gonna dump it right back into their system. All right, so it's just an ongoing debt cycle, you know, and it's all bullshit. It says those surging basic expenses could widen the inequality gap in America, as a quarter of Americans make less than $10 per hour. All right, let's see. Let's see. As a result, okay, as the cost of living continues to rise, which that's true, because in Atlanta, all right, you really can't get an apartment, and Atlanta has low living a low cost of living. All right, but if you live anywhere like in the perimeter of the city, I'll say even maybe 10-mile radius, within a 10-mile radius of the city, 10-15 miles, you're not gonna find any less. I would say for a 2-bedroom, you're not gonna find any less than 1,200, 1,000, 1,200. You for a 1-bedroom, you won't find any less than 700. And I mean, you know, that's that's not a lot to someone who has money, but to us that are broke as hell, that's a lot of money. All right, you know, and that's hard. That's hard as hell to maintain, to pay that rent. Okay, and all of your money that you're making is basically gonna go towards your rent, towards food, towards gas. All right, and you can't tell me that the purpose of living is to just work until you die. All right, but that's how this devil has set it up. And I got another precept. This is Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. So how did the so-called white man get his riches? Okay, he got it by deceit. Okay, when he came over here, all right, when so-called Christopher Columbus came over here, all right, the conquistadors and the settlers, all right, they came to the Americas with deceit on their minds. Okay, they were going to they came. You know, the scriptures say his words were smoother than butter, but a sword was I'm just roughly paraphrasing, but the sword was in his heart. I believe that's how it was paraphrased. But basically, you know, these are the unrighteous dealings, and these are the deceit to the so-called white man. Okay, this whole debt economy, this whole American dream, what is that? That's just deceit. Okay, unrighteous dealings. All right, the whole money system is completely unrighteous. All right, this whole system is completely unrighteous, completely wicked. All right, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, so Esau, the so-called white man who is on top of the world right now. All right, he's gonna be overthrown. All right, he's gonna be out of his power seat. All right, because it's clear that he is an unfit ruler. All he's doing is just destroying the earth and just racking up more debt. Okay? And he's ruining it for and he's damaging everyone's lives, everyone's livelihood, you know. Okay, as a result, the percentage of adults aged 26 to 34 that live at home continued to rise. The share of older millennials living with relatives is still rising, underscoring the lingering obstacles faced by Americans who entered the workforce during and after the Great Recession. And the reason why you have more millennials living with their parents is because it's just expensive as hell. Everything's expensive, man. You know? And you gotta have money to live on your own, you know? A lot of no one can't really afford to live on their own no more. You gotta have a roommate. Unless you just got it like that. Alright. Let's see. That might be it. Okay, I'll just read this. Fueled by low interest rates and strong investor appetite, debt of non-financial companies has increased at a rapid clip to 8.7 trillion and is equal to more than 45% of the GDP. All right. That's pretty much it on this article. Now a day of reckoning is fast approaching, and those that believe that we can escape the consequences of our actions are being extremely delusional. And that's the so-called white man. He can't escape the consequences of his actions. All right, he's gonna have to pay for all the stuff that he did. It says we were the wealthiest and most prosperous, most prosperous nation in the history of the planet, which is true, but that was never good for us. We always had to have more, and so we have been on the greatest debt binge in human history, and that's just greed. All right, what does the scripture say? The love of money is the root of all evil. All right, the love of money is what made America get to this point. Okay, because it's just debt, just money. Everything this is a money-driven society, you know. And what did it say? It said the most prosperous nation in the history of the planet, which is true. I got precept, Revelations 18:9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Why? Because America is the most prosperous nation. Okay. They're going to lament because they make all their money from America. All right, the dollar, which is the most regional currency, basically, that's America's strength. Okay, and all these nations rely on that dollar. All right, these other nations are relying on America's debt. Okay, and now they're trying to X out the dollar, which really it's just gonna ruin them even more. All right, because once America goes down, they're gonna go down. It's just a chain of. It's just gonna be effects. Cause and effect. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, alas, that great city Babylon, which is America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, and what does it say? This article says that. A day of reckoning is fast approaching. What is that day of reckoning? That's going to be America's judgment. America's not going to escape the consequences of its actions. You know? For in 1 hour is that judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Alright, so all these merchandise, all this, because America makes its merchandise off of America. Alright, it thrives off of America. Alright, because America is a debt society. They buy everything. All we do, it's just consumerism. Alright? So because America is just full of consumers, all right, then all these countries that are producing goods, all right, they're gonna howl, they're gonna be lamenting for America, you know. All right, so I got a quick, I got another article real quick. Let's see. Okay, this is just real quick. I'll bring it out. All right, and this is on. This is called. This article is called Slacky. 11 deeply alarming facts about America's crumbling infrastructure. All right, and I'll just read it and then probably close up. According to the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, nearly 56,000 bridges in the United States are currently structurally deficient. What makes that number and even more chilling is the fact that vehicles cross that bridge 185 million times a day. More than 1 out of every 4 bridges in America have never had major reconstruction work and is more than 50 years old. America does not have a single airport that is considered to be in the top 25 in the world. The average age of America's dams is now 52 years. All right, not long ago, American Society of Civil Engineers gave the condition of America's dams a D grade, and the overall also got a D grade. Congestion on our highways costs Americans approximately $101 billion a year in wasted fuel and time. And that's also, true, because all we're doing is wasting time and debt. America is just like a hamster wheel, just mundane, man. All right, in order to completely fix all our roads and bridges, it would take approximately $808 billion. Okay, federal spending on infrastructure has decreased by 9% over the past decade, and that's how Rome fell. It stopped. It put all its money into war. All right, and it stopped, and the infrastructure crumbled. All right. According to Bloomberg, it is being projected that by 2025, shortfalls in infrastructure investment will subtract as $3.9 trillion from U.S. gross domestic product. So, okay, let's say you are rich. Let's say you got a nice car, you got a nice house. You still got to drive on these. America's infrastructure is still fucked up. Still got to drive on these crappy roads. Yeah, you got a nice car, but you're driving on these shitty roads. You get stuck in traffic every day. All right, so ain't no American dream, man. This place is completely finished. All right, everything is just is crumbling. All right, and this debt, this debt is gonna reach an end point. Okay. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Shalom.